Well, as you can see, it's pretty hot today, and I think it's only going to get hotter. So me and the dogs are going to go up to the lakes, and I'll bring you with me. We're all loaded and ready to go. Barty on the right, Muttley on the left. We've got the aircon on in the car, so let's go. Okay guys, we're nearly there now. We're just coming up to the turn off for the lakes. Countryside up here is a little bit different. We've climbed up quite a way. Takes us about, I guess it's taken us about 35 minutes to come up here. It takes about another 10 minutes to get to the lakes from here. So we're turning off here. The lakes are just through here. Side of the mountain range. Dogs are in the back. We've been able to keep them cool on the way up. They're sitting in the back here. Right, Mats? Barty? I'll bring you back in when we get to the lakes. So now we start to see the countryside around the lakes, and we're on the westmost end, so you can start to see the lakes down in the bottom here now. Obviously as the summer goes on, the lake retreats east back towards the dam. So as the water gets used up, this water is all for Malaga. So it's saved through the winter and then it's used for Malaga. I have to look out for my little turning along here because I want to go somewhere that's quite quiet, where the dogs can run around without anybody around, because this is very popular for people to come up to. Families come up here with their kids and their dogs, and further around, which I'll show you later, there's campsites and pedalos and kayaks and all kinds. This end of the lake is a bit more wild. I think we used to drive down there. They put a train across now. Interesting. Maybe we were a bit early. No, it's further around. That's right. Come around here. You can see on the edge of the road where the rocks have been eroded over the years by the water. This has always been an area with a lot of rainfall up here. Nice roads for motorbikes. Guys come up here at the weekend and ride around. We used to do a lot of motorbiking here. So, if I remember correctly, when we go around this next left-hand bend, there's a turning on the right-hand bend, there's a turning on the left-hand side of the road, which we take and we go down to the lake. It's a track just up here somewhere. Maybe a bit further. And now you start to see the lakes. Oh yeah, it's a bit further. There's a car down there. Someone fishing. Quite windy up here today, so it should be nice and cool, although the temperature gauge still says 29, so it's still the same temperature actually as it was at home, but I think it'll feel cooler. And of course if the dogs get themselves wet in the lake, it's going to feel really nice for them. Here we are, this is our track. Drive down here to the lakes. so the dogs don't get bounced around in the back. As I said, this end of the lakes is less popular, although it's still really nice here. The families tend to go up the other end where there's restaurants and there's a couple of bars, kayaks for hire, pedalos for hire. I think we can park up here under the trees. Nice and cool. So here we are. So I'm going to get the dogs out now, and then I'll bring you guys back on. Come on, Mats. Mats. Putting the hat off. Mats, come on. A party? Going for a swim? For a swim, Mats? Come on. Wow, wow, party, what's that like? Is it nice? Water's actually really warm here in the shallows. Is that nice, party? Mats? Mats? Do you like it, Mats? Ooh. Stood on a rock. Mats! Oof. Wow. Wow. You swimming? You swimming, Barty? Very nice, isn't it? Mats? Mats? Muzz! Come on. Muzz! Muzz! There's my hat. Ooh! Pull me off. Barty! Barty! What do you think, Barty? Eh? Nice, isn't it? Eh? I think Matty's gone to do what dogs do, hasn't he? He's gone to do what dogs do. Muzz! So this is the lower lake, and this goes all the way around the corner, and there's a higher lake much further up with the big dam. So this is really the very end, on the west end of the lakes. Okay guys, I'll bring you back when we go up the road. Well, me and Barty enjoyed that. Didn't we, Barty? Hey? Not sure where Muppy's gone. There he is, he's over there in the trees. Mooching. Keep an eye on that dog. He does wander off a bit. One of the reasons we got the camera is to see what he got up to. Just had a message from Al, sent to Cynthia, so nice to see that. People on the channel. So we're up here, Al and Sin. We're up here with the dogs and up at the lakes. So we'll take you along. Okay, see you soon. So if you can see, it's 29 degrees up here, although the breeze is making it feel much cooler. And we're at an altitude of 340 metres. And home is about 200 metres, roughly, above sea level. So we're a little bit higher up here. And we're just going to take a drive around. I hope you can hear me okay. I've got that fan on with the aircon quite strongly for the dogs, just to make sure it stays cool in here for them. We parked under a tree so we didn't heat up too much. And we'll take you for a drive along the edge of the lake. And we're going to head up to the higher part. Not sure what these guys are doing, they're playing with something here. So it's a nice place to come if you come up here at the weekends. You'll have a lot of families up here. People come up, they bring their little tents and picnics and barbecues. It's quite nice because people do seem to take care and they do seem to keep it quite clean. Dogs are quite happy in the back. Bart's laying down. Muttley doesn't really lay down in the back, he likes to sit up. They've got individual cages in the back so they can sit where they want, prop themselves up. At least I've only got that to clean out when we go back. It's good to have a strong aircon in here, which as you can see, we're able to drive around here at the moment. When there's more water in the lake, of course, this is actually underwater here. But, just now we can drive around. Eucalyptus trees are an indication of a lot of water. So I'm going to head back out to the road and I'll bring you back in when we get to a nice viewpoint a little bit further up the hill. Speak to you in a minute. So now you can start to see the other part of the lake. We've come around the corner from where we were. You can see how with the sandy base it makes this very, very turquoise, this lake. You get a lot of light coming back up from the sand on the bottom. It makes it a very attractive colour. This water's all come straight out of the mountains. filming through the window of the car. I'm hoping that it's going to take a little bit of the glare away for you so that you can see a bit more clearly, because the windows are all tinted, so it just helps take off the reflection off the water and the harshness of the glare. Just along here, we're going to go behind this hill here. Now down here, this is the start of the valley that the water discharges from the lakes and goes down towards Malaga, and this is called the El Chorro Gorge. So we're at the very top of the El Chorro Gorge, and this is a very famous and now very well used tourist attraction called the Caminito del Rey, which is the King's Walkway. It's been refurbished recently. I did it just before this is interesting. Okay, so this just used to be a mirador here. You used to be able to drive in here and drive to the end and go and park your car, but now they've built a big car park. Obviously going to be something to do with the new El Chorro Gorge. This is where I was going to do a little video for you. Ah no, there it is. So it's still there. I'm going to turn around and take you down to the end, because it's really nice. Okay, so they haven't actually built up on my original mirador spot. This is really nice because you're high up. You get a really good view of the lakes from here and the forest all the way around, the mountains, the agricultural land on the other side. So let's take a look, guys. I'm going to leave the car running so that the aircon's on for the dogs. So now you can start to see the size of the lake. This is only the middle lake. There's a further lake higher up, which also has great volume of water in. So a huge amount of water is stored up here to be used throughout the summer. Bear in mind we're just at the start now of the warm period here. There you can see some guys down there on the stand-up kayak and small kayak. As I mentioned earlier, you can rent those out along here. There's a lot of campsites and areas. A couple of guys down there on the edge of the water fishing under their umbrellas. And then looking around where the water gets lighter, straight in front of you, around that corner is where we were with the dogs. So we were around on that far part, on the far west part of the lake. But yeah, it's really attractive up here. I always wondered about owning some farmland next to the lake, because it's very, very attractive location. Okay guys, well we'll go a little bit further up. As you can see on the other side, it's very mountainous. Immediately becomes very mountainous, so of course that's what's holding the water into the lake on this side. And as we go around the road, you're going to see a lot more evidence of erosion on the rocks from water, and also go into the pine forest, which is over the other side. So I'll bring you along for that. So now we're back on the road, guys. You can see these very smooth rocks along here, which is where the years of the water eroded and smoothed everything out. And then we come around into an undercut around this corner. And the road literally starts to cut underneath the rock. Must have been an old water course, but all of the rocks up above here are very, very smooth. They've all been eroded by water. Campsite coming up here. As you can see, hire boats. Somewhere up here does pedlos as well, I think. So, a lot of the people that live inland, and also people who have dogs, will come up here rather than going down to the beach in the summertime. It's like their beach, really. And they come up with their picnics, families come up. You're not allowed to take your dog to the beach in the summer, so they come up here. And the dogs have got all the forest to run in. There's a large undercut here where the water's really undercut the rock. See that? And up here as well. Imagine huge volumes of water coming down here and undercutting all of this. This is La Isla, which is another very popular little spot where they've got pedlos and all kinds of facilities in there. I think they have like a kids summer camp there and all kinds of different stuff. Very popular here in Spain is to have built barbecues where you can just go and barbecue up your stuff. You just take your own charcoal. A nice little area here. Little island sticking out into the water. That's the big undercut I was thinking of. There's lots of marked walks in this area where you can go and walk up through the pine forest. See, we're getting into the more popular area here. Mirador is a very popular restaurant. You can see all the cars parked up here. The Mirador is over the top of this bridge, tunnel I should say. Has a very nice view out over the lake. But it does get very busy. A lot of tourists in this area. You see the difference up here from where we just were with the dogs. If I brought the dogs up here, this would be chaos. Lots of other people with their dogs, and just my two aren't very used to other dogs, particularly apart from biting them, so it doesn't go down too well. They're used to defending the farm, and we tend to take them to places that are very quiet if we go out, so we don't have any conflict between them and other dogs. Just around here is a really nice restaurant, El Kiosco. Lisa and I like to come here. It's good food. It doesn't get too busy. It's obviously it's a bit touristy, but it doesn't get too busy. So. Quite nice around this side. And then we're coming round to one of the dams here actually, and this was built by the Romans, so this is a very, very old dam. You can see the stonework down on the side, and it's actually a very interesting dam, nicely built. We're right on top of it here. You can see all the arches there. when the whole thing was built out of stone. Hopefully you can see some of that there. You can go down on a pathway on the other side, down into the bottom. Lovely forest here. Take you around on this side, and then we can see the dam from this side. So it's the old Roman dam. I'm going to have to reverse out of here, so give me a moment. Just here is the little local hotel. The Posada is a type of hotel. This is a 3-star Hotel Rural. A little restaurant attached. See here, there's more parking, and they've made this into like a little park on this side. You can walk down. We'll take a little drive up to the highest lake, which is the last one of the 3. It's only just up here, and then you'll have seen everything. It's a really nice area to visit if any of you ever have the time. If you're coming to Spain, come up here and spend a day, go on the walks out in the forest, stop and have something to eat somewhere. See, this time of year it's starting to get busier. We're up at the biggest lake, which has the biggest dam. So this lake goes all the way through on both sides. See the road going over there. This dam has its own spillway here, which when it's full, the water comes down from here. When it's too low, the water just drains down into the lower lakes, and then it goes out of the spillways on the lower lakes. So, as you see, this is much more man-made up here compared to the lower part. Just take you around to the last part around here. You can see the other part of the highest lake. Here it is. This is the top. So I'm going to spin around. This is where the control of the dam, everything is taken care of from here, so they have very nice gardens and they have a nice building up the top. Okay guys, I'm going to drive back down and get something to eat. So guys, I'm going to take you down a different way. It's not the quickest way, but we're dropping down now from the lakes down into the El Churro Gorge. So I just wanted to show you this road, and you get some quite interesting features on the way down here. There's a couple of geological sites of specific interest down here as well. So a lot of people come up here and walk in this area for that reason. So it's a nice area. This is heading down towards the, called the village, but it's more a town now, of Alara. And it's got quite an international population. It's also the end of the train line coming out of Malaga, so it's the last place you can live and easily commute into Malaga on a daily basis. It takes 42 minutes to take the train into the centre of Malaga. Also a very nice road for motorbikes, this road. There used to be a motorcycle adventure company down here for years, but I think they stopped trading a few years ago. Yeah, lots changed up here in the last few years, I guess, with the Caminito del Rey being upgraded. I did it just before they upgraded it, when it was still actually illegal to go along it because it was in such a bad state. I did it with some climbing friends of mine. Now you can start to see these rock formations. And I'll see if I can dig out some photos and include them in this video. We haven't been on it since it was renovated. They spent, I think, 3 or 4 million euros to renovate the Caminito del Rey and made it into a real tourist attraction. But we haven't been on it since then. It's been very difficult actually to get tickets. It's been so busy that it's been difficult to get tickets for it, so we haven't really bothered. Problem when you live close to things, you tend not to do them. If it's a big deal and you have to travel to it and everything, you book it up and you go and you do it. But when you live close by, you tend not to do things so much. So you must make an effort to come out and do it. Huge, very smooth rock formations here. If you can see over on the other side, probably not. You might see in a moment actually when we go around the corner. Some very unusual shaped rocks, which is where the site of geological interest is. Yes, you can see it from here. Lots of people come up here to go walking in this area. Quite unusual. This is called Bobastro. Dropping down and we're actually going to come down and intersect with the El Chorro Gorge, which is where the Caminito del Rey is. A very quick history of the Caminito del Rey. The train tunnels were blasted through the gorge to bring the train down to Malaga, and when they did that they had to put an access and pin it to the cliff on the outside of the tunnel so that the engineers could still get along and do maintenance on the tunnels without being in the tunnels when the trains are running through. And the king heard about this and thought it was such a feat of engineering that he wanted to walk it himself. So he came down from Madrid and he walked the engineer's access, and it became known as the King's Walkway. And in Victorian times the Spanish gentry would come down and they would walk the King's Walkway because it was a thing to do. So women in their finery, gentlemen in their top hats would come down and walk the King's Walkway. But it was never ever designed for that. It was never designed for the public to go on, and over the years it just deteriorated and wasn't used for maintenance. The train line became less used because they built the new high-speed train line up to Madrid. So it deteriorated. It became the domain of only of climbers, and that's when I did it. And down at the bottom here you can see the water which is coming down out of this gorge, and this water meets up with the water that comes through from the Caminito, from the El Chorro Gorge I should say. So yeah, 2 years ago they decided to renovate the Caminito and make it more public friendly, and now you buy a ticket, you park your car, and depending on whether you park at the bottom or the top, the bus either takes you up or down. And up there you can see some people coming out of the Caminito del Rey on the new walkway, would you believe? So you can imagine what the old one was like. Yeah, when I did it you had to do it with climbing equipment. And then this is the water that's now making its way out of the El Chorro Gorge. There's a hydroelectric station down here, and it's generating hydroelectricity. I'll stop down here and let this guy go by. He's probably in a bit more of a hurry than I am. These little bars, this El Pilar, used to be just the domain of climbers, and now it seems like it's become really busy. A lot more tourists in the area. The train station over that side in the trees, you can see, lovely building. The bridge that's higher up, not this railway bridge, but the bridge that's higher up that goes up through the Caminito. Some climbers here. Very popular area for climbing. That was used in the film Von Ryan's Express with Frank Sinatra. So they did a lot of filming here for that film, and they used the tunnels. And then over the other side of the lake you can see it's a very nice campsite. It's very nice facilities. And then this is the hydroelectric station where they're generating electricity. here on the hill. This is a very nice hotel. Really nice hotel with a lovely outlook, and it's now become very popular to stay in. There's a nice restaurant and bar. So yeah, it's a nice spot. La Garganta, which is where the water comes out of the El Churro Gorge. Okay guys, I'm going to sign off now before this gets too long. I hope you've enjoyed this little trip up to the lakes. Muttley and Bart cooled them down, and we're going to get them home now. Okay, see you later.